Welcome back. Alrighty. We have completed our goal. So, let's turn in and see if this quest completes.
Greetings. Are you one of the Grey Wardens that went into the wilds? Did you happen to see any white flowers? I don't know for sure that the flower will aid my poor hounds, but it's worth trying. I have, let's see, 20 silver to offer as a reward for it. Thank you for your assistance, then. Perhaps we won't lose as many hounds as I'd feared.
Could swear I was able to see one of the dogs and it was sick. And that's what started the conversation. Guess not. Dachi.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful? Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately. I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later. If only such secrecy were unnecessary, and all understood the necessity of such sacrifice. Sadly, that will never be so.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
And Alistair standing right there.
Yes, Sir Knight. Try not to wet your trousers until the ritual starts.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Not all who drink the blood will survive, and those who do are forever changed. This is why the joining is a secret. It is the price we pay. We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward. I'm sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No! You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel? Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the King. The King is discussing strategy for the upcoming battle. I am not sure why he has requested your presence. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Now that takes some guts to drink out of that cup after seeing that. My girl is badass. Interesting, though, that they required us to get 3. I just want to see if I could go back here. 3 vials of blood, but there was only 1 cup. Okay, I think I'm going to do some business here, and I will be right back. Okay. My Toon's color keep changing. I can't wait till I get some gloves. Because in the character creation, she was actually, you know, brown skin, but now I don't know what the hell she is now. She changes. Okay, let's check out this meeting.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Calin. The Darkspawn Horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the lady from Highever I met earlier? I understand congratulations are in order. Every Grey Warden is needed now. You should be honored to join their ranks.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Calin. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from cover.
To flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, Mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough! This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Calin. A glorious moment for us all.
And I think that's when he decided
You
to
heard
change
the
his
plan.
mind.
You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Tern Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
The tower is on the other side of the gorge from the King's camp, the way we came when we arrived. You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley. We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for. Stay with the Terran's men and guard the tower. If you are needed, we will send word. The battle is about to begin. Once I leave, move quickly. You'll have less than an hour.
We soil our drawers, that's what.
If it does, leave it to us. I want no heroics from either of you. Then I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
You know, looking back at it, now it sounds kind of silly that once we light the beacon that we have to stay and guard the tower. The important job is done. Unless you know about Alistair, it makes no sense. Everything could fall, and we're standing there guarding the tower. So yeah, that does sound a little fishy, but he should know what was up. Alistair. I mean.
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here.
Let's cross the bridge and get...
Every time that dog gets hurt, I get choked up. That's when I get really pissed off. Don't hurt the animals. Send the dogs in like that. Why would you send the dogs in like that? I mean, you just sent them to their deaths. What the hell?
They're everywhere. They've taken the tower. You're Grey Wardens, aren't you? The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Then we have to get to the beacon and light it ourselves.
Okay, another thing that I thought of in the playthrough that I uploaded in the DLC, it mentioned that Calin had this friend that he entrusted documents to. Where was this guy? Have you guys seen him around? Because I don't recall seeing him. I'm gonna have to look back through the videos and see if I see him. It's yet another inconsistency. And I think, you know, looking at it, it's like, okay, this is where Loghain decided that he was going to change his mind. It's a shame. It reminds me of, like, current day prejudice or racism. The younger generation, for the most part, doesn't care about skin color or, you know, who the gender of what the person, you know, a person is with. For the most part, they don't care. It's like, do whatever you want. Racism tends to thrive because of, from what I've seen, people who have known someone that has gone through it, or you know, that are older. And it's sad because until you let it go, it's always going to be there. You know, whether you're the victim of it or you're the catalyst of it continuing to thrive, it's going to be there. It dies when people stop bringing it up and people stop talking about it. And that's what Loghain reminds me with the Orlais people. Whatever happened in the past, it happened in the past, but now it's over. And we saw in the letters, Calin and the woman over there, you know, they were trying to see how they bring their cities together, even if, you know, I mean, the implication is that they were getting it on, or they were thinking about getting it on because his wife could not bear a child. And but the truth of the matter is, it's over and done. How long are you going to hold on to something? And Loghain brings up that Merrick would have been upset to know that his son did blah, blah, blah. The flip side is, and I'm just checking in to make sure that I've got everything here, because once you go in, you can't come back down. I don't think you can come back down. The flip side is that Merrick might be pleased, yes, that they were enslaved, but if they've come full circle and you have, they respect you, treat you as equals, and the combination of the two make you powerful, maybe he would have been open to it, you know? I mean, that's one thing you'll never know because he's dead, but you can't hold on to everything forever. I mean, it's sort of like, well, you just can't hold on to everything forever. That's just silly. That's not moving on. I hate this room. There's traps. Now, my last playthrough, I avoided the traps. Let's see if I can do it this time. Oh, you see that line? Okay. Let's get you back there. And get you back there. And get you back there. And we're all gonna go back. And that means you're all gonna go forward. And you're gonna... Because why listen to me when I go through all of that? Why listen? Why? Oh. Anyway, it sort of reminds me of as you get older, you sort of let go of things. Like when you first get your heart broken, of course the pain is raw and it hurts and you're miserable and you wonder how you can survive and if you'll ever live again, and you're sure as hell not gonna love again, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. But then as time wears on, you look back, moves on, you look back and you remember that pain. We have to focus on the yellow. You remember the pain, but hopefully you've let go of the pain so that you can find a person more suitable for you and try again. So it's sort of like that. Loghain needs to let it go. And, reading that lore really brought home what a predicament that was. I think that it was an error to make Loghain noble, to even begin to put the seed into his mind that he could be anything other than... I mean, I acknowledge him for the things that he's done, but he shouldn't have been made noble. And that brings up another point. If Loghain could be made noble instantaneously, why, as king, why couldn't he marry anybody who he wanted and just make them noble? If you could do it with Loghain, why can't the king do it with his wife? I don't understand that. I really don't. That's baffling to me. So if anybody can explain that to me, let me know. Because that's, one of those inconsistencies. Why put that kind of restriction on there? Why? So, and one other thing, going back through this, seeing, with the dialogue with Calin and Duncan knowing that Alistar is heir to the throne. Now, although Calin made the request, and, Duncan would have honored whatever, it was Duncan that made the request for him to stay in the tower even after the tower was lit. So it's almost like they had each other's backs. Calin said, you know what, I don't want you on the field just in case everything goes wrong. There's an heir to the throne. And then Duncan said, just in case anything goes wrong, your butt is never going to get on the battlefield. See, Calin didn't say that. He just said light the tower. He didn't say don't come back down. That was Duncan. So I'm glad that I actually saw that, because I think that that's a significant distinction. But it doesn't jive again with Calin being oh so cautious about Duncan, because if that was the case, he would have said stay, light the tower and then stay there, stay off of the battlefield. And it really wasn't Calin that said that. It was Duncan, which makes the DLC again not jive. So I don't know, I used to give BioWare a lot of credit for their stories, but I'm finding a lot of problems with them lately, unfortunately. Sucks, really.
What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the Horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here. Hey, you're right. I guess there is a silver lining here if you think about it. At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Tyme Loghain will be waiting for the signal.
And that proves my point even more. There was not supposed to be any resistance here. So they would have just been sitting back chilling in the tower watching the fight, basically. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm covering everything. My apologies. I was really playing lazy, and that's because I just didn't like the direction that it was going. I didn't. And maybe one day, I have the save game, and maybe one day I will complete that storyline, but in truth, I had to install a mod to get, you know, the marriage, but what really bothered me about that is that it went against Zevron's personality. Zevron, like, he gives the innuendo with the earring about marriage, but the truth is he does not declare love, and although that ceremony is like one of the most beautiful things, he's not the kind of guy that does that. Alistar is. And in truth, that's, if I'm going to have a guy, that's what I prefer. Say what you mean what you say. Don't make me have to try to distinguish what you mean. That's why I don't understand how guys stand it. You know, when females mean one thing and say another, you ask them what they want for a gift. Oh, I really don't want anything. But in truth, they want this 5-carat ring that they've been leaving flyers around about. You know, it's like, if you want the ring, then say you want the ring. And then, and if I don't get the ring, don't get pissed off that I don't get the ring because you said you didn't want the ring in the first place. I mean, that's like asking, does this make my butt look big? You know it does. That's why you're asking the guy in the first place, you know? Okay, rant over. This is a good place to stop. I will see you in the next